Hey there folks, this is GreenXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 49. In last episode we found out that Keiichi, he has a big gob, as if we didn't know before. So he was bragging to everyone about how good of a cook he was, and now he's living alone and he has to cook for himself and he can't do it, and he has a competition coming up and he can't do it. So, I mean, Renna looked right through it, but anyway, let's get on with it. Let's see how he does on his own at home. Fine, I'm desperate. So what? I may not know the ABCs of navigation, and I have neither a sea chart nor a compass. But still, one idiot is taking on the ocean of the great cooking age alone. And his name is Keiichi Maibara. By the way, this is a late night recording, I have to be quiet. Let's go! Time to cook! Yeah, get the crazy music going. My enthusiasm is peerless. If energy and recklessness was all it took, I could take over the world. However, there are plenty of things in the world that can't be achieved with resolution alone. And cooking was probably the top contender. Therefore, even if it was hastily prepared knowledge, I wanted something to help me. I made up my mind and fished through the kitchen cabinets. I was on the hunt for a cookbook. My mom should have had a few of them. For a complete amateur like me, the first thing I needed was information. Just like he who would cross the oceans needed a compass. For me, a cookbook was absolutely indispensable. Oh, here's one. It's worn out. Wrinkled cover made it feel somehow reliable. Okay, as long as I've got this. Well, it's easier to give it a shot than think about it, right? Anyone can concoct the tastes of a gourmet chef as long as they have a cookbook. Sure, cookbooks are great. And as such optimistic thoughts filled my chest, I flipped through the pages. However, whoa! It played with technical terminology like toys. I just couldn't see how to actually make things. I know, when I read this one cookbook that my mother had, and it was impossible, it was like another language. Ah, you knew it all along, Keiichi Maibara. If anyone could make delicious food just by reading a book, then there would be no such job as a gourmet chef in the first place. It's true. First off, it calls for 3 teaspoons, but which spoon is that? Oh well, I know that one. You keep saying to use however much you like. However much exactly are you supposed to use? Use however much you like. You can't say that in a cookbook. Stop using such obscure expressions. I know. Strain out the water in a colander. Add salt and pepper to taste. Okay, I can do it so far, I think. I'm not a good cook, but I can do it so far. What the heck's a colander? And strain it out, like stretching? You can't stretch water droplets like meat. Besides, how much salt and pepper is that supposed to be anyway? Just a pinch, you only have to put a little bit. Oh god, he's off. Aren't there any beginner-friendly guides in here? It won't do you any good to yell. Cool off, Keiichi Maibara. Think calmly. But for now, I'll leave the side dish until after. The rice is more important. Have to cook the rice or I can't start. I know a little about how to cook rice. I didn't cook it with my camping kit when camping all the time for nothing. I'll wash the rice. That should be enough water. I'll just wash it and put it in a rice cooker. And which switch is it? Is it this button? Oh, the lamp turned on. Oh, yay. Progress. Yeah, fully automatic rice cookers are one of the 3 sacred treasures after all. Now pleased by the rice cooker set, I pulled myself together and decided to take on the miso soup next. Just buy a can of soup. God alive. The miso soup I made at day camp was all the instant kind after all. Well, it'd be fine if I just melted the miso into hot water, no doubt. I'll boil the water and put it in the miso. Huh? How much should I put in? Oh, another problem. Let's see here. Use the proper amount according to the number of people and your tastes. I'm thinking FF9 with Quinna and Eco cooking. Fine. Then I'll put in the proper amount. I crushed the bag of miso in my fist and put half of its contents into a pot. But will you put an oglop in it? Look, was this really okay? Maybe this was a little too hearty. They do say miso soup is best when it tastes strong. Come to think of it, my mum's miso soup's a little thin. Maybe I like it better with this much in it. To be fair, if you're only feeding yourself, then you shouldn't worry at all about the cooking. Except maybe setting the kitchen on fire. I said it aloud as if trying to convince myself. Then, convinced by my own words, I nodded to myself. Alright, the rice and miso soup were probably fine. Next, the side dish. Ooh, what's he doing? What should I make? Yeah, what are you doing? Something I could make that would add colour to the meal. That's it. Why don't I stir fry some veg? You can eat veg raw too, and they won't die just from a little bit of fire. Just a little bit of fire. I was so cute then, not realising that the level of my thoughts have fallen from what would look great in a meal to what would be easy to make. Can it be both? There were quite a few veg in the refrigerator. What kind of veg go in a stir fry? Bean sprouts? Cabbage? Oh, go for a bit of cabbage. Chives? Onions? Can you put cucumbers and lettuce in? For now, I grabbed a nearby cutting board, cut them into chunks, and tossed them into a wok. This has gotten pretty exciting. Is it true worth immense cooking? Hey, this is actually getting kind of fun. You know, I can't use a wok, I've never tried, but I couldn't flip it and all that. All of a sudden, there's a pile of veg in the wok. Alright, next is the salad oil. Oh, healthy. Glug 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 went the salad oil. It'd be more exciting if I filled it to the brim. Whoops, a bit leaked out. Well, no point in worrying about something so minor. No, exactly. The great Keiichi Maibaro's cooking is exciting. Okay, let's turn on the heat. Whoop! oh shit, it's that fire. Whoosh! The salad oil filling the wok to the brim caught fire. The flames reached up to the sky. Oh shit, he's gonna burn the house down. Amazing. Maybe I can be an iron chef too. What if I'm really good at cooking with fire? Oh god. He's gonna be an arsonist, isn't he? Those words were spoken by delusion. I was saying something outrageously careless, but when the words came out, they sort of convinced me. I remember this bit. I can't remember if it was in the anime or manga, but I remember this bit. Gah! Yes, I'm an iron chef. Oh, hot, hot, hot. Right as the crazy pillar of flame started to burn the ceiling, I finally realised that the fabulous cooking before my eyes had culminated into an actual life-threatening disaster. Wait, what? Could I have been doing something insane? It sounds like it. The force of the flame grew stronger and stronger. Wait, what? What? Oh shit. What in the world are you doing? You must stop the flames this instant. Who's come to help him? I think I remember who. Somebody forcefully struck me in the back of my head. Oh, no, I was thinking of. I thought it was going to be Renna. When I turned around to see what was going on, to my surprise, I saw Satoko and Rika-chan there. Eh? Satoko? Rika-chan? Rika looked so disappointed. Hey, Satoko, Rika-chan? Oh. As I stood in wonder at their unexpected entrance, Satoko shoved me out of the way and turned off the gas. Then Rika-chan got a towel, soaked it in water, spread it out and placed it over the pot. This is so mature. She continued to soak more towels and put a second on, then a third. Why didn't the fire alarms go off? Once a whole bunch were piled on, the fire finally stopped. All of it had happened in a few moments. Having avoided a huge fire by a hair's breadth, the three of us gasped for air. Wait, what are you doing in my house? You're trespassing on private property. Yeah, you little shits, you just saved my life, what are you doing? Yes, well, Keiichi-san, you've been caught red-handed in the act of arson. Funnily enough, I knew he was going to do arson. It was just about to turn to a huge building fire, wasn't it? It would be very, very sad if Keiichi was homeless after this, just from cooking his first meal. And after pretending to be an iron chef, I finally began to take in the situation. So that was really about to set the house on fire? Is that not obvious? Just look at it! The ceiling is all sooty, is it not? Chimneys are the only things that should be sooty. Yeah, you should chuck sooty in a chimney for sure. Satoko was seriously mad at me. Maybe they saved my life. It seems like they did something very close to that. According to what they said, I was so absorbed in my fiery cooking that I hadn't noticed when Satoko and Rika-chan rang the doorbell. But they could tell someone was home, so they came in to check. Thank goodness they did. Yeah, thank God for that. If Satoko and I hadn't come, the fire engines would have been going wee-oh right now. Keiichi-san, do you understand now how serious this was? At some point, I had sat down on my knees as I listened obediently. I'm sorry. You two saved my life. We thought we would come and see what a fabulous dinner you made. But as we thought, it's a mess. At this rate, we won't even need to look at your bento. You mean... So you and Rika-chan came all this way just to see what I'd make for dinner? Us being mean saved your house and your life. Is that not something to take to heart? Ugh. Yes, I'm sorry, Satoko-chan. San. At this point, having shown them such a disaster, I couldn't exactly make any more bluffs. I'd completely surrendered. Oh, he's lost already. And yet you tried really hard on the curry. Where did the Keiichi-san from back then go? Jeez. Ugh. I had all our underclassmen help me then, and just borrowed entire pots from the other teams. I didn't really cook anything. Yeah. Keiichi-san, you cheated? Well, yeah. Geez, you might have been doing what our club usually does, but that was terrible. Pouring salt into the other team's pots seemed far more terrible to me. But Satoko was in control right now, so I couldn't respond. I obediently hung my head to her. By the way, Keiichi-san, this terrible pot, this wasn't supposed to be miso soup, was it? Oh god, she's even saying that's bad. Satoko stared at the pot, totally full of miso, with an awful expression. Ah, so I really did get the amount wrong. Judging by the look on Satoko's face, whatever was in the pot couldn't be called miso anymore. But forget the miso soup. The rice should be cooked just fine. Rice cookers these days are pretty convenient. It should be just about done. What's he done wrong with the rice? Meep. It's not cooked. See, the inside is still all watery. Eh? What? But I switched it on and a little light came on. Keiichi-san, the button you pushed was a timer button, okay? It's set for breakfast, so it won't turn on until tomorrow morning. Oh shit, he's mucked up everything. So then what? In the end, I don't have a side dish or miso soup, or even rice. I couldn't make anything myself. Oh, it serves you right. So, have you finally realised your place? Come, admit it. Say it, I, Keiichi Maibara, am more bark and a much crummier cook than Satoko Hojo-san. Yeah, I'm a terrible person and a crummier cook than Satoko. I beg your forgiveness. I fainted in agony. Oh, he's dead. Higurashi pat my head, satisfied at the sight, and Satoko laughed loudly in triumph. Ah, I've completely lost. In the end, I talked big, but couldn't make a single dish adequately. At this rate, I'll go without dinner. And tomorrow morning, no breakfast, and no bento for lunch either. I didn't know how many days it would be before my parents returned, but at this rate, without a doubt, I'll starve to death! Meep! Of course, I'll have no bento tomorrow either. That Meep. American Horror Story for sure. Little Meep. Meep! And I'm sure to get the punishment game tomorrow. Higurashi kept on patting my head with a smile on her face that couldn't possibly get any bigger. Satoko, completely appalled at how unsightly I looked, heaved a heavy sigh. Adult men are just so pathetic, aren't they? Come on, I won't say he's an adult yet. Please move yourself out of the way. As I sobbed like a girl, Satoko, displeased, brushed me aside, dumped the remains of the miso soup into the sink tidy, then began to rinse out the pot. Sink tidy. I've never actually seen someone with this, but is a sink tidy like a waste disposal thing that goes on the sink? You know, is it one of those things? I've never known what they're called, and I've seen them in shows all the time. Don't worry about it, Satoko. I can at least clean up after my own mess. I couldn't have Satoko clean up the cooking utensils I'd made a mess of. But when I tried to stop her, Higurashi pulled on my clothes. Pulled on the clothes? What? Keiichi, you can just be silent and watch. She grinned as she said it. Be quiet and watch. What are you saying, Higurashi? She meant just what she said. Keiichi-san, just be quiet and leave this to me. Satoko turned around and declared, seeming bothered. As if to say that amateurs should keep their hands off. Her annoyed expression was a little scary. Leave what to you? Satoko didn't answer. Instead, she spun back around and began to rifle through the pots on the refrigerator. Oh, they're gonna make food for us. Hey, wait, don't mess with them too much. If you turn the place inside out, my mom might get mad at me later. Would you just be quiet already? Men aren't supposed to enter the kitchen. Oh god, that's sexist. Vika. Aye aye, sir. Satoko snapped her fingers and Higurashi got on her tiptoes, grabbed me by the back of my neck and started dragging me away. Although at the time of this game and everything, maybe sexism wasn't such a big thing. I'm not sure. Not sure about the years. Leaving Satoko alone in the kitchen, Rika-chan dragged me back into the living room. Hey, stop, Rika-chan. Let me go already. If we leave it to Satoko, the kitchen will be a disaster. Well, she can cook fine. You've been told that. Satoko came to see how she beat you today. It's her revenge. Revenge? Come to think of it, her face looked kind of grim. Eventually, from the kitchen, there's a sound of a faucet being twisted and a stove dial being turned. I began to hear the nostalgic sounds that made me envision dinner time. The fridge opening and closing, ingredients being kept on the chopping board. Oh, this music with what's being said, I love it. What did that mean? Was Satoko... was she cooking? Keiichi made fun of her quite a lot. Satoko wanted to show you that she can cook proper meals too. Ugh. Just listening to it like this. There haven't been any sounds of blood spilling or bursting or explosions. There's some new pictures in this game from the last two. I like them. At this point, at least, she'd proven she was a more skillful cook than me. In the cooking showdown with Satoko Hojo versus Keiichi Maibara, it looked like victory had already been decided. Yeah. I recall Satoko's slightly annoyed expression from before. I was making fun of Satoko too much today, wasn't I? Is she holding a grudge? We were just provoking each other with our usual back and forth, but I also think I maybe overdid it. At the very least, I shouldn't have made fun of Satoko, who could cook for herself when I'd never cooked other than for recreation before. Satoko isn't holding very much of a grudge, but she came all the way to my house and pushed her way in. She's got to be mad. I quietly took a peek into the kitchen. She definitely looked different than the usual bird-brained Satoko. Her eyes were sharp and her movements were brisk, to the point where it was a little scary. Then she must have noticed me, because she turned around and shot me an annoyed glare. I cringed in fear and hastily pulled my head back out. She don't like being watched. She's mad. She's totally mad. Ah! How will she take revenge on me? Poison. Poison. That's just Satoko being serious because she doesn't want to fail. She isn't angry or anything. How can you say she isn't angry? I've never seen Satoko be this frightening. Keiichi-san, I can hear that, you know. Sorry. I jumped at Satoko's angry outburst and faced towards the kitchen. I felt exactly like a kid who had done something bad and forgotten, and gotten called to the teacher's lounge. He insulted curry, didn't he? Where'd you keep the miso? The refrigerator is so big that I don't see any of it anyway. He just wasted it all. I'm sorry. The miso it's on the middle shelf in the fridge, at the back left of the lower rack. What's this? You need to close the miso package after you finish with it. Here you derp. It's getting the inside of the fridge dirty, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sorry. Before I can look for something to wipe it with, Satoko wiped it off with a wet dish towel. I swear, how are men so bad at cleaning up after themselves? I shudder to think that you'll become an adult like this. That's something I'm okay at, cleaning. I don't find it hard at all. Ugh. I couldn't talk back to Satoko today. The only thing I could do was obediently lower my head and apologise. We're starting to see in this arc how Satoko is such a nice character when she wants to be a generous character, whereas in the other two arcs, it seemed like she was just full-on brat mode. As Satoko nitpicked and I apologised, a good smell began to fill the kitchen. I mean the two arcs we've seen already, and then the others. This is how you prepare the miso for the soup. You scoop a little out with a ladle and break it up with chopsticks. It's important to add a little at a time and keep tasting it. Dumping the entire thing into the pot is absolutely outrageous. Oh, I'm sorry. I never paid attention in home ec class. You're pathetic. I swear. Men. Grumble, grumble. I cowered at her annoyed sounding muttering. You know, I think every school should teach cooking from a very young age, even if it starts off with like sandwiches for like 10-year-olds or whatever, but my school didn't. We did have a cooking class, but it was sort of shared with like textiles, the sewing and all that sort of crap. And we only had one lesson a week, and you just never learned anything. I cowered at her annoyed sounding muttering, but looking at her like this, she seemed quite good at cooking. It had just been overshadowed by Rena's and Rika-chan's artistic abilities. Satoko's skills were clearly enough to get passing marks. Hey, if you have time to zone out like that, then you can go set the table. Rika and I will be eating too, so set 3 places. Oh, on it! I hastily took a 3 people's worth of dishes and such from the cabinets and headed to the dining room. When I returned there, I could hear laughter from a variety show on the television. Rika-chan was sprawled out on the couch, watching television and relaxing. Japan's Got Talent, that's what it is. Wonder if there is one of those. When she noticed me putting the dishes out on the table, she came scampering up. Dinner time is soon. Dinner at Keiichi's house. Nipa! Rika-chan, you're in a good mood. That's a pretty big difference from Satoko. Satoko isn't in a bad mood at all. How many times does he need to be told? She's enjoying herself more than she has in a long time. Enjoying herself? Seriously? She's like how she was when her Nini was with her. It really has been a long time since I've seen Satoko look like she's having so much fun. Nini? What the heck is Nini? Yeah, there's a new character coming to this arc. I don't think it's been mentioned at all in the last two. I don't think. He might have had like a brief mention, but in this arc he's gonna be a new character probably, really. Is it a sound cats make? I mean, he's gonna have more mention. Nini means brother. Satoko's older brother. Satoko's older brother? He's named Satoshi. Haven't you heard his name before? I always get Satoko and Satoshi mixed up. It's only because it's been saying Satoko all the time that I've gotten it lodged into my head. But now Satoshi's going to come into it. It's probably going to get a bit confusing. Satoshi. Satoshi Hojo? Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. At least, he didn't go to our school. Satoshi, huh? Satoko's older brother. I think this might be a new song. That's the first time I've heard of him. She had a brother, huh? I didn't know that. She does have one. Saying that, Rika-chan grinned even more brightly and went Nipa again. When Satoko was with Satoshi, she always looked like she was having fun, just like this. Amazing siblings. It really has been a long time since I've seen Satoko enjoying herself as much. However, I looked at it. She seemed to be in a bad mood, but her good friend Rika-chan was saying that it was actually the opposite. Is she really enjoying herself? She must be remembering the time she spent with her Nini. It's nostalgic. Nostalgic? Huh. For some reason, I keep imagining KK Slider singing along to this song. Then does he live apart from Satoko? Maybe Satoko's older brother Satoshi is actually a lot older than her. He must have gone off on his own and was living by himself far away. Satoko seems like she got along well with this Satoshi person. She did. The two of them get along very well. She spread her arms wide to demonstrate the width of how well they got along. According to Rika-chan, Satoko supported her docile, slightly unreliable older brother through nagging. That was their relationship. I see. That certainly applied to the current situation. We had me, unreliable, unable to cook even a single dish properly, and Satoko, who redid it while scolding me. Could Satoko have been getting a glimpse of her brother, who now lived far away, through me? Yeah, Keiichi's gonna be the brother figure for Satoko. So, she would always nitpick whatever Satoshi did, but she firmly supported him, and they got along well. Today, she was the one. She suggested we should go to Keiichi's house. She said, there's no way the unreliable Keiichi-san could possibly make dinner. We need to go make it for him. Then, she didn't come here to get revenge, or to get even, or anything like that. She couldn't leave you alone. Even now, Satoko is a proper little sister. I was an only child. I didn't know how it felt to have siblings. Oh, I do, all too well. Of course, I've never had a little sister like Satoko. But I felt that in this moment, I was an older brother, obediently and helplessly being looked after by her. Without any teasing or messing around. I'm gonna give thanks for her trouble. That's what I honestly thought. Keiichi-san, do you know where on earth the ladle is? We used it, didn't we? Ah, sorry. The ladle should be in the drawer to your right. No, he didn't use it. You were supposed to use it. I ran into the kitchen, got the ladle out of the drawer, and offered it to Satoko. It's all done. Have you put the bowls and things out? Yeah. Everything's A-okay. Then let's have our meal. Rika, it's time for dinner. Me. I heard Rika-chan's effervescent voice coming from the dining room. I've never heard that word before. Effervescent. Satoko turned off the gas flame on the stove and lifted up the pot of miso soup. Could you bring the rice cooker, Keiichi-san? Be careful not to flip it over, alright? Right, I'll be careful. I can carry rice cookers just fine without being warned about it. You can't turn one on properly. I thought about replying like that, but I decided not to. No mean words or witty retorts today. Yeah, she's helping you. Rice with steam billowing from it, and miso soup, as well as a handful of side dishes. On the table was a truly firm, family-oriented dinner. It wasn't weird at all, or extravagant. It was a daily meal, the sort a housewife would make. It was very nonchalant and brimming with liveliness. Then let's eat. Thank you for the food. At Satoko's command, Rika-chan and I both thanked her in a loud voice. That's better than a prayer before food. I made light of you, Satoko. You've beaten me soundly. Oh ho ho! Do you have a better opinion of me now? I may still not be as good as Riko or Renda-san, but I can cook far better than the helpless Keiichi-san. You can't argue with that. Yeah, I know better now. After I honestly admitted my defeat, Satoko's expression finally softened, and she laughed with her normally loud and cheerful voice. Chomp chomp. Oh, the rice is cooked really well. Though she used the rice cooker, it tasted a little different from the rice my mum made. Maybe she used a different amount of water for it. Yeah. Even so, I could feel Satoko's personality from the rice, which made it taste better than usual. The miso soup was a little on the thick side, but it was still delicious. The side dishes, while not exactly flashy, tasted great as well. It was all so appetizing, and I couldn't stop eating. The side dishes are well done too. Satoko, you're not a bad cook at all. I gave my honest impression without a hint of sarcasm. Satoko seemed to have been expecting some, because when I praised her so honestly, she got flustered instead. They're getting along really well, you don't see this side of her very often. Your praise honours me, but it's nothing so grand. The side dishes are just things I bought at the store and heated up. This and this, all I did was open the can. I can only really make rice and miso soup myself. Satoko said, embarrassed, her face a bit flushed. There was none of her normal verbal abuse or sarcasm in there either. I can't make anything except rice and miso soup. When you get ready-made side dishes and put them on the table too, it turns into something fairly splendid. My mum uses ready-made side dishes and canned goods too. It's nothing to be so embarrassed about. This is a fantastic dinner. I give her honest praise. I've never met Satoko's brother, but Satoshi would probably praise her in the same way. Well, I suppose it's enough now that you've come to realise that I can hold my own in the kitchen. Would you like seconds? There's plenty of miso soup left. Huh? Did that brat just awkwardly change the subject? When I realised my response had been on the mark, it made me a little happy. When we eat rice like this, it's fun, like we're eating with Satoshi. Rika-chan mentions Satoko's older brother's name again. Satoko's chopsticks paused and she looked up at the ceiling. How nostalgic. I wonder what he could be doing right now. She had a faraway smile, as if yearning for a friend who had moved away. Aww. From how it looked, I got the impression she hadn't seen Satoshi in quite some time. Satoko realised I was giving her a blank stare. I do apologise. Satoshi is my Nini. No! Oh no! My older brother! How embarrassing. Okay. I see. Nini must have been a nickname only Satoko used for him. It was funny to see her hastily deny it. I was rather surprised a person with such few living skills had the ability to run away. Well, I'm sure he'll pack up shop at some point and return out of the blue. So he ran away. We're getting to know a lot. A lot of the mystery is being revealed so early on in the arc this time, innit? Good. There was another story to what Satoko had said so cheerfully. The reason for Satoshi not living with her was a little serious. Everyone had been talking about it in such an upbeat way, so I continued to talk about him. Should I not approach the subject at all? I hastily took a look at Satoko's face after thinking that, but there was no trace of the gloomy expression I'd been worrying about. She's happy to talk about her brother. Well, he's not old enough to be dreaming of living on his own. Nini won't be able to do it for long anyway. He has no endurance. Satoshi may not look it, but he's a very persevering person. He's a lot more persevering than you think. Rika, you always take Nini's side right away. You're a little too nice to him. Satoko is just too harsh on Nini. You should treat him more kindly when he comes back. Satoko and Rika-chan's views regarding Nini, aka Satoshi, were parallel to each other, but I could easily tell that both of them really liked him. They were so optimistic too. Even though he had run away from them, it was like they were going to see him again next week. Satoko and Rika-chan both liked Satoshi, even now, and waited for him, believing he would surely return. I've never met him, but I know for sure that this Satoshi person was a really good guy. I thought Satoko would be deeply hurt by her brother running away, but she had already overcome that. She was still being the energetic little sister, always full of vim and vigour, as if to say that her brother could come back any time he liked. I thought that Satoko didn't think through anything, and just frolicked and played practical jokes every day, and that was it. But she was really... yeah. Huh? Why are you petting my head? I roughly rubbed a hand through Satoko's hair. I misunderstood you, Satoko. I didn't know you were this level-headed. None of us did, let's face it. The game hadn't given us a chance to. Satoko seemed to think I was making fun of her, and tried to bat away my hand. But then she saw that there wasn't even a trace of malice on my face, and obediently granted me her head. Like a cat. Yep. Satoko's level-headed. She sure is. She's got a flat head. I've been level-headed from the start. I was just playing pranks on you because you always do it to me. There was a usual provocation, but I decided not to buy into it today. You're right. You were just doing it to go along with me. But you really were so level-headed. Good for you. Is that actually a compliment? It kind of seems like you're making fun of me. No, not this time. I'm not trying to make fun of you at all. I'm seriously complimenting you. Because if I was making fun of you, Rika-chan would be petting your head too. That's right, isn't it? When Rika makes fun of people, she usually pets their head. She does. Meep. These canned sardines are delicious. Rika-chan went neepa, and her smile became even brighter. Her attitude was clear as day, but it was annoyingly cute, so both Satoko and I suddenly burst into laughter. That laughter lightened up the table. The table itself was so dull and simple that I never even thought people could be laughing like this around it. And then, I finally came to realise something really obvious. Dinner is better if you're laughing while you're eating, huh? Of course it is. Laughing makes it taste better. How rude. The food is good because I'm a good cook, obviously. This harmonious moment, this happy circle, it was completely different than spending time with family, but still somehow nostalgic. Satoko, do you want to see Nini? I didn't say Nini. Call him my brother, please. Hey wait, you've been saying Nini this, Nini that this whole time. I grinned wryly and decided to just call him brother like she told me to. Satoko, do you want to see your brother? Rika-chan stopped eating, then looked back and forth between my face and Satoko's. Satoko was smiling. She looked like she was trying to choose her words. Just from that, Satoko conveyed her feelings. Honestly, she wished he would come home right now. But she wasn't that weak. Satoshi should just do what he wanted until he was satisfied. In return, she'd let him have the scolding of his lifetime. Of course. And then she'd have dinner with him, and lay out his futon for him. Well, of course I want to see him again. It's been almost a year. It's been that long already. Rika-chan smiled thinly, her eyes appearing to look far away. Well, Nini can do what he wants. It would lighten my load if he came back with more muscles and knowing how to do housework, of course. See? You said Nini again. She can't help it. You said it. I did not. I would never call Nini Nini. Ah, it's nighttime. Well, it would be, I suppose. Things rapidly returned to the usual, lively atmosphere of lunchtime at school. But nothing changed about Satoko's feelings towards her brother. She was living so bravely and so strongly. Hey, Satoshi. Your sister is trying so hard to watch the place while you're gone, isn't she? Give it a rest and come back soon, got it? Satoko. It's time to clean up, or else we will get sleepy. It was when we were all watching TV while enjoying some tea after dinner. Rika-chan let out a big yawn and then spoke. Satoko and I both then looked at the clock and noticed how late it had gotten. No, perhaps we both realised it already. We just didn't want this warm moment to end. Maybe we didn't want to say anything. Oh, this will not do. I still haven't washed the dishes yet. Don't worry about it. I can do that much at least. You made a great dinner, so I can't let you do the dishes too. Yeah, that's fair. Are you sure you'll be alright? When people who are not used to it try and wash them, the soap could make the dishes slip out of their hands, you know. Jeez, she's turned into a perfect nagging little sister. I've never had that happen to me. I've never dropped anything while washing dishes. It was charming and awkward. Emotions like that were all mixed up inside me. Gave her a vague, dry smile. Keiichi can at least wash dishes. If you break one and hurt yourself, I'll give you pettings at school tomorrow. Yawn. Rika-chan yawned again, so wide you could see her molars. Is it really alright? Keiichi-san is pretty unreliable, despite how he looks. Give me a break. Looks like Keiichi's approval ratings have plummeted in Satoko's mind. Don't worry. I'll clean those dishes up, no problem. So don't worry about it and go home. Actually, at this hour, I can't let you two go home by yourselves. I'll take you there. Let me find the key for my bike. Then you'll have to walk home alone. Once you've taken us home, Keiichi-san, you will be the one going home by yourself. Yeah. You'd be in big trouble if you get lost on the roads at night and end up in Takatsudo. There's no houses or lights out there at all. I was trying to worry about them going home, but I think they'd be worried about me getting lost. Am I really that unreliable? She really is being critical, but yeah. This feeling I have, it's not bad. So I ended up not needing to escort them. I saw off Satoko and Rika-chan to the gate. Thanks a lot for today. Thanks to you, I got a good cultural dinner. If Satoko hadn't come, Keiichi would be growling and yowling right now. Yeah, probably. Truly, it's really good that we came. They really saved me. I gave them another bow, filled with gratitude. Oh yes! I put the rice and side dishes into a container, so use that for your bento tomorrow. And for breakfast, you can eat some bread and jam. Strawberry jam and peanut butter were in your refrigerator, on the middle shelf to the right. Cocoa powder too was in the upper right door of the cupboard. I know all that, you don't have to go into detail. I was about to say that, but I decided to humbly listen to her. It was then that I finally realised that Satoko, who had appeared to be in a bad mood, was in fact in a great one, just like Rika-chan had said. Yeah, you had to be told a few times. and that, though she nagged a lot, she was very kind. Then good night. Make sure to brush your teeth before you go to bed. You have to do it for at least 5 minutes. I got it, Satoko. 5 minutes! Jesus friggin' Christ! Scrub 'em away! I'll brush my teeth and make breakfast for tomorrow. And I'll be sure not to forget the bento. You need to wake up earlier than usual, or you won't be able to get your breakfast or bento ready. Got it? If you like, I can give you a call a little earlier to wake you up instead of using your alarm clock. Personally, I just make it the night before. You don't have to go that far. I'll set my alarm clock to wake me up a little early. Thanks for being so concerned about me. Satoko looked like she had more fault-finding to do, but she stopped and, leaving me with a good night, got on her bike and disappeared down the nighttime road. Rika-chan went to do the same, but then remembered something and came back. What's wrong, Rika-chan? Did you forget something? Keiichi, you get 100 points for today. Clap, clap, clap. Yeah, 'cause he was an insult in Satoko and everything. Rika-chan suddenly complimented me. She clapped her small hands. What was she on about? I didn't do anything worthy of praise, did I? I nearly burned down the house after all. Satoko probably felt like her Nini had come home. Yeah. I think she was having a lot of fun. Once in a while, I want you to go along with Satoko scolding in the future. You tell me to be like an older brother that she can scold instead of Satoshi. Rika-chan didn't say anything. She just smiled and went all Nipa. Ooh, nice moon. This Satoshi person. He has such a great little sister, so what was he unhappy about? If I were Satoshi, I would never have run away from home. Satoshi had his own circumstances, I'm sure. I didn't know what he was unhappy with, but whatever the reason, there was no excuse for abandoning Satoko. I hope he comes back soon. I probably can't play the role of her actual Nini forever, you know. It's okay. You just like Satoshi today. Please do it again sometime. If that's what would make Satoko happy, I'd take on this easy role whenever I needed to. Rika! Satoko stopped her bike under a distant exterior light and called out to her friend, who wasn't coming no matter how long she waited. Okay, I have to go. Good night. Yeah, night. I can't replace Satoshi, but Keiichi could do it. That's one less piece of baggage I need to shoulder. Leaving me with that, Rika-chan sped off on her bike. She rode up next to Satoko, and then the two of them disappeared in the blink of an eye. Satoshi, seriously, come back soon, got it? If you come home really late, I'll punch you right in the nose. Let's try our best until that day comes, Satoko. Even if I could no longer hear the sounds of their bicycles, I stood there for a while, seeing them off. Oh wow, that was stunning. That was one of my favourite parts of the game so far, and it's in one of the early sections. I normally prefer the darker sections of the later half of the arcs, but that was really heartwarming and stunning. They introduced Satoshi, who is going to be quite a big character for this arc. You can probably already guess that. I'm not saying we'll see him. We might not, but you know. Okay, let's see what tips we got. Satoko's Trap Course, Elementary. I know one thing for sure. Satoko could fend off an entire army division by holding up in this mountain. I know all about it. Satoko was one of the Soviet military advisors that gave training on traps to that one country. Really? Stop saying weird things. Somebody help me. How did it come to this? What traps did we fall for? And how did we fall for them? Mion was caught in a profusely thin pitfall she couldn't escape from, and only her head was poking above the ground. Rena's head was completely covered by a tin bucket. She was squirming around in a vain attempt to remove it. Either of these really were funny, but that's where it ended. At least they had their feet on the ground. Or under the ground by the sound of it. Keiichi, what about you? Think you can get out of that? Hurry up and get out so you can save this old man. You're the one who should be breaking out and saving me, Mion. What do you expect me to do in this freaking bamboo mat? I was wrapped up in a bamboo mat and hanging 2 meters above the ground. Ah, what's this trap? How did I fall into it? Huh? It was Satoko. This all started when they suggested that I was unfamiliar with nature, having grown up in the city, and proposed a little exploration on the mountain. I can imagine the conversation. But Rena doesn't really know how it's back there either. Rena might get lost. Oh, my voice is going now. The mountain out back, huh? I played there a lot when I was little, but I haven't gone there for years. If we get lost out there, things can get pretty dangerous. You can leave the mountain to us. The whole thing is our playground. Isn't that right, Rika? Mew. Oh, I see. How reassuring. We'll defer to you two this time and have you be our tour guides. Yeah, they shouldn't have trusted Satoko. Wait, Keiichi-kun. The summer vacation guidebook says not to play on the mountain because you'll get lost. It isn't summer vacation yet, so it's alright. Well, you could still get lost. We know the path, so there's no need to worry. All this conversations make me think of The Forest. It was a newish horror film. It was in the cinema not long ago. Yeah, it's pretty good. The mountain has always been our playground. Our backyard. We know all the secret paths and shortcuts. Yes, both Satoko and Rika-chan knew the path like the back of their hands. Thanks to them, we had our fill of fresh air, gorgeous views, and Mother Nature, the likes of which you can never see in the village. But things got strange partway through. Oh yes, everyone I have something to say. From here on, you must follow exactly where I go. Huh? What are you talking about all of a sudden? It would be safer to do as Satoko says. Oh my! Hey Mi-chan, look at this. What is it? Should I pull it? Should I? Uh-oh. It's gotta be a trap. Suddenly, squeak. Crash! When Rena pulled the kite string, a bundle of bamboo spears, fastened to a tree branch, all came raining down with a clatter, right next to where Rena was standing. Wah! What's this? What? Oh god. That brings back memories. Satoko made this trap in the second semester of 2nd grade. That was a close one. The tips of the spears are covered in dog poop, so if one of them hurts you, the wound will start to fester. Oh crap, that's bad. But when did this turn to freaking Vietnam? According to Satoko and Rika-chan, earlier in elementary school, Satoko had been on a trap making craze and set them up along every inch of this mountain. Keiichi-kun, maybe they didn't tell us not to go on the mountain because we'd get lost, but because it was dangerous? Mion and I both nodded wholeheartedly at Rena's hypothesis. Come now. We are hurrying on ahead. If we do not return soon, it will get dark. If it gets dark, it may even become dangerous for me. But you're the one who brought us to this crazy mountain. Why was an average healthy Japanese boy like me being forced to deal with life-threatening booby traps? Indiana Jones style. And then, the very moment Satoko and Rika-chan got just out of sight was when the three of us all got caught in nice little traps together. Ah. Someone get me out. I have to go to the bathroom. Never mind that. Somebody get the bucket off me. I can't see in front of me. Wait, Rena, don't struggle around so much. I can't see your panties. You saw? You saw? Keiichi-kun, you saw? Oh. Oh god, beat him up. Smash, crash, smash, 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 crash, bash. Of course, you can see them. Maybe in a bucket, but you can definitely... Yeah. Bucket Runner, as if that's a person now. Bucket Runner was using me as a sandbag, and me almost crying. You can't get out of the pitfall? How sad, how sad. Geez, didn't I already tell you all? You weren't supposed to leave my side. I finally had an epiphany. Satoko had been so bent on taking everyone out to the mountain because she wanted to brag about all the traps she'd set up here over the years. You could have stopped just at showing them to us. I didn't need to experience how it felt firsthand. We could jump pets our 3 heads in sequence in an incredibly satisfied mood. So in this episode, we saw both sides of Satoko, didn't we? The trap-loving kind in the tips, and the new side to Satoko in the actual episode part. But yeah, that's about it for today, I think. It's quite a long episode today. It's going to be this format all the time. It's going to be half a chapter each time. So, some will be long, some will be short. It's how it's been going on all the way through the series so far, so might as well carry on like that, I think. Anyway, this has been GreenieXI. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit when we go for chapter 2. And I don't know if there'll still be the curry tournament going on, or the cooking, the bento competition, whatever it's called. But no, you know, now that Keiichi has had his food made for him and stuff like that. But we'll see what comes up next. I've loved this opening. Thanks for watching, folks. See you again in a bit.